kind of interrupted because somebody just walked in. And I'm just trying to finish this up real quick. But essentially, what I was doing before was I was kind of reading from the Bible and kind of going through Revelation a little bit, going through Genesis, and kind of going from there. And for me, what I was trying to teach, well, not really teach, but talk about, was as a Christian, there's a lot of times where you're going to get told off or persecuted for your beliefs. We see it all the time in the Bible. For people, if you read the Bible at all, for people who are supposed prophets or who teach God's word in any way, the way they usually end up is dead or locked up or in prison or something like that. Lots of people get killed different ways from being a Christian, and we can see that with what happened with Charlie Kirk. He taught different things. He had different beliefs, and I'm not going to go into his different beliefs and whatnot and how I feel about that. He lives in America, as do I. He's entitled to his opinion, and anybody who kills somebody for expressing their beliefs is a messed up person. It's not right to kill somebody because of what they believe. We know this. And by teaching Jesus, more so now, particularly in the days that are coming up and with what's going on in the world, we have to be very careful about how we teach. We saw with Louder with Crowder recently. If you're a conservative or read the Bible or anything like that, we saw with Louder with Crowder that when he showed up to a college campus, he had bodyguards, he had bulletproof. He had a bulletproof vest on. He had bulletproof shielding. He had many different things that he was using to protect himself. And the biggest thing for me is the reason why I'm doing this live. I'm definitely an introverted person. I don't like going out on the street corners and preaching God's word like a lot of people do. I'm not that kind of person. I am somebody who is very uncomfortable talking publicly, and I'm not somebody who likes being on a public setting, put it that way. So, power to these people who go out and who are trying to teach God's word, trying to debate people, trying to just strike up discussion. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do, particularly nowadays. It's a very hard thing to do. To go out and talk about God or talk about conservative views or talk about anything, really. It's a very difficult thing to do nowadays. So, to me, it's kind of crazy. Jesus teaches peace. He teaches peace. He teaches many different principles. He never tells us to go out and to harm another person. Words are words. We have to distinguish between words and action. When we're talking about Christ or God or anything, we're trying to bring people to God, is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to hurt people. We're not trying to injure anybody. We're not trying to kill people. God and Jesus, obviously, have a very specific way of living. If you read the Bible, to any extent, you know that the Bible is kind of a handbook on how to live. It's in the Old Testament, in the first 4 or 5 books, it tells you, don't murder, don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat on your wife, don't do many different things that we live by today, that society is built around. If we live in a society that is unruly, that has no laws, society would crumble in probably 24 hours. We see in movies and such that, you can live in a society and not have laws and blah, 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 and we're fine. It's a utopia and whatever. That is a pipe dream. We need laws to live, and God was somebody who came up with a lot of different laws, and the Jewish people lived by them for many years. Less so now, but for many years. So, to be a Christian is to try and teach with love, to teach with love, but to teach. Being a Christian is kind of like being in a pyramid scheme. It's kind of a good example. Being a Christian is kind of like being in a pyramid scheme. It's your job to pass it on, to try and bring in more people. That's what being a Christian is all about. And that's kind of what Charlie Kirk was trying to do. Yes, he taught different things. He taught many things that people agree with and many things that people don't agree with. I'm not going to say what I agree with or anything like that. But at the end of the day, he was only trying to teach. He was trying to go out there and debate. In a world where you're no longer allowed to debate with people or talk about differences of opinion, that's all he was trying to do, and he was killed for it. And it's sad to see, and as somebody who's a Christian myself, every time I try and talk about God or Jesus or anything, you're just trying to force your views on people, you're just trying to do this, you're just trying to do that, blah, blah, blah. Jesus loved everybody. He hung out with some of the worst people out there. He hung out with murderers. He hung out with, at that time, tax collectors. Not that they're really bad people now, but back then they were. With, prostitutes, all types of different people. And his reason for doing that was to try and teach them. So we don't be Christians and go to church just to hang out with church-going people. Obviously, they help build us up. They help teach us something new. But our fundamental role as a Christian is to bring in new people. Bring people to Christ. Be fishers of men. That's what it's about. That's what being a Christian is all about. I have quite a few other videos out there on Christianity and different beliefs and whatnot. This video is essentially just me talking about Charlie and talking about, as a Christian, you gotta watch your back nowadays. He was a very outgoing guy. He was a very public figure at the time. No doubt about it, he helped get Trump elected as president, as the 47th president. He helped get Trump elected, no doubt about it. Whether you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, I'm just saying. So he's definitely an influential guy, and he's the guy who founded Turning Point USA, and probably stemmed Turning Point Australia, and a few other turning points. He helped bring Candace Owens to light, he helped give her a platform. He helped Louder with Crowder. All these people appeared on Turning Point USA. So he helped Steven Crowder. All these people appeared on Turning Point USA. It is what it is. So him being assassinated was definitely a win for the other side. Definitely, because it's like a Hydra. You cut off a head. Who's going to take his place? There was nobody like him, and there's nobody that we know of who is going to replace him in the manner that he was teaching college campuses and such. So, yeah, it makes it difficult as a Christian trying to go out and teach God's word and worrying about being killed or how it looks in public or whether you're going to get beaten up or anything like that. So, for me, this is my way of kind of teaching Jesus, teaching God, and being out there and kind of talking about different topics. So, Hopefully you found this live stream helpful, and I'll see you next time.